Hey, check it though. I had to cut the music off because it's interfering with the sound of how the microphone picking up what I'm saying or whatever. But hey, man, look, today another good day, bro. We're gonna chalk this one up. I like to start off with I mean, it's kind of ritual for situations like this. You feel what I'm saying? Like I grew up in a situation where people would ritually like pray, like they would ritually make rituals to pray, like to make sure that they have some type of spirit, some type of intangible deity, some type of intangible deity just to be present in the room, something that we can't see with the naked eye. It might be tangible in the means of it being there, but it's something that we can't see to that realm. We can't convert our eyes over to that realm to see, to speculate from that perspective, from that pendulum. Anyway, um, nah, serious though. I like to send prayers to my teacher, bro. Usually I don't be reading everything, but I don't know what made me read this today. You know what I'm saying? I don't be having time, but I done caught up with a few things. I done started half stepping again. I'm not taking full steps. I'm half stepping. When I say I'm taking half steps, you gotta remember I got this brace on. You gotta remember I got this brace on. So right, I'm not all the way walking yet, but I'm half stepping. So anyway, so I didn't caught up with a few things or whatever. So I'm reading everything again. I'm getting my thoughts back together. You know what I'm saying? Getting back to myself, as you would say. And I read it. I was like, oh man, that's sad to hear because it's like I'm the empath. So it's like when I comprehend well too. So it's like I'm an empath, and I in the real world where things do happen. I'm gonna say that for this sake, I just want to send my prayers out to my teacher, man. Miss Jeannie Beard, Gianni. I don't know. I don't want to say her name. I apologize. But yeah, man, I want to send some prayers out to her, man, because I know that first semester when I just had this surgery, it was kind of rocky with us. We I mean, as grown folks would do in a setting where they got to speak to openly to everyone, they would just say it openly because you may not be the only one. So, but anyway, um, yeah, man, I want to send prayers out to her, man. She said her mom having complications. I ain't gonna get too deep into it. She openly said it, but I ain't gonna get too deep into it. I just want to send prayers out to my teacher, man, because all this stuff be hard, and I understand if you doing something serious, you really trying to teach somebody something. I get that. I can respect it, and I commend her for that. It's one of them teachers. Like, okay, the fact that I'm saying I'm sending my prayers out to her. You know what I'm saying? And hello. All right, Danny. Have we spoken before? No, no, no. I was saying, I would probably preparation, proper preparation. I would probably prepare myself for the situation. So yeah, further research. I got the information. I got the quote, and I mean, as long as y'all keep doing what y'all do, I ain't stopped the alerts on the text messages and nothing like that. Yeah, y'all sending them every day. So eventually you'll slow up, but eventually you'll still throw something out there, and then you'll reel me in. But my thing is, I can't do it right now at this moment because I'm still situating some stuff. But once I situate everything, then I set it up. Yep. I'm probably gonna get okay, so if it's my first activation, what if I get two properties at once? Oh, oh, you the man, Danny. You threw that alley real fast, Danny. You the man. See, I was just sitting here praying for my teacher, man, and then you calling, you throwing alley like that. Look at that. All right. Thank you again, Dan. You too. Bye-bye. And that wasn't a spam call either. That was some good news. You feel me? But
truancy is often an early warning sign that something more serious is happening in a child's life or inside that home. By addressing these cases through one coordinated system, we can respond more consistently and intervene before a child's problems become a responsibility to maintain law and order and to hold violent offenders accountable. That both parents and families receive due process. Our current
stay the governor, man.
Does not always.
He won't be president. Tate Reeves want to be president. He want to be president.
Over the last several years, my administration and Commissioner Andrea Sanders,
I'm finna see if I can pull it up.
to make meaningful progress at the Mississippi Department of Child Protection Services, with the help of the Mississippi Legislature, supporting foster families and helping children reach safe and permanent homes as quickly as possible. That work is difficult, and it is oftentimes thankless. The men and women at Child Protection Services are asked to step into families on their worst days and make decisions that can affect the rest of a child's life.
For real.
We owe it to those employees to give a full...
But this ain't what they listening to. This ain't what you listening to, though.
It works. We owe it to foster parents and biological parents to give them timely answers and a fair process. Most importantly, we owe it to every child to make sure his or her case does not get lost in a fragmented system.
He mean it, and y'all don't be out here stealing the money and mistreating these goddamn kids. I'ma say it for him. I got you, Tate. Keep going, brother. I got you.
The progress at Child Protection Services and the reform of our youth courts must work together. We cannot improve one side of the system while ignoring the other. Now, I will be candid about something. When I ran for governor, it was not the issue that brought me into public service. But you know, public service is not always about choosing only the problems you expect to face. Public service is about confronting the problems that Mississippi faces now.
Say that. Say that.
One of those problems is the troubling increase in the number of young people committing serious and violent crimes.
Stupid.
We have seen juveniles accused of shootings, armed robberies,
stupid,
carjackings,
stupid,
and other acts of violence
stupid
that destroy lives,
stupid,
and terrorize communities.
Stupid.
We cannot look the other way simply because the offenders are young. Instead, we must be willing to
It's not just the violence. It's the psychological damage that they doing to these motherfucking kids that's making these kids crash out. He was talking about parenting and he rolled over into the kids. The psychological damage that you parents doing to these kids when y'all using these kids as a ticket instead of using these kids and do these kids because they kids didn't actually be here. They not smart enough, so you need to do right by them. Work hard to make sure you take care of them and not use them as a motherfucking ticket. That's what he's saying, but he can't say it because he in front of all them folks.
Intervene before a troubled child becomes a hardened criminal and before another innocent person.
Psychological damage making them kids pick that shit up and spank your ass.
There must be consequences for violent conduct. There must also be a system capable of identifying children who can be redirected, providing effective intervention, and acting quickly enough for that intervention to actually matter. A full-time, more uniform youth court system will put greater focus on both sides of that responsibility, protecting the public and helping save children before it is too late. I want to be very clear about something. This legislation that our legislature will debate today is not the end of reform. It is just the beginning. Changing a system that has developed over decades will take time. Building the new structure, ensuring courts have the right personnel and resources, improving coordination, and seeing the full effect of these reforms may take years. But that is not a reason to delay. It is a reason to begin now. Foundation. It moves us toward consistency statewide. It strengthens due process and transparency. It expands opportunities for early intervention while increasing secure capacity for the violent offenders. And it gives children and families and law enforcement and our child welfare professionals a system equipped to do its job. As I mentioned yesterday, I am hopeful and even optimistic that members of both political parties can and will vote for this common sense legislation that will help children and families all across Mississippi. I want to particularly and especially thank Speaker White, Representative Horan, Lieutenant Governor Hoseman, Senator Wiggins, Senator Hobson, and the many other members of the legislature who have been involved in getting us to this solution. It will be another good day for Mississippi and her people if we can get this legislation across the finish line.
Did he just call Mississippi a her?
Thank y'all for being here today, and I will open it to questions.
Governor, what we hear?
We'll continue.
Governor, how open and transparent were some of these discussions with the community, youth court judges, supervisors, both parties of the House and Senate, and then, of course, the parents who are going through the system as you worked on this legislation?
Yeah, well, thank you for that question. And what I would tell you is I believe it has been 4 or 5 years since I first proposed reforms to our youth court system in the executive budget recommendation in either 2022 or 2023. When we came in 2019, I think it's fair to say we inherited a Department of Child Protection Services and a Department of Human Services that had challenges. And in the first term, we worked very, very hard to fix a lot of the challenges that we found in those two agencies. It became more and more evident to me as we had additional conversations surrounding what needed to be done to find solutions that, again, we couldn't just fix the executive agencies if we're going to fix the total system. And that's why I made the decision to start proposing change. This has been a conversation in the Mississippi legislature much longer than that, though. There have been bills that have passed individually in the Mississippi House. There have been bills that have passed individually in the Mississippi Senate. There was an extensive conference committee done in this session that multiple conferees signed off on, and each of those bills in their various ways got them at some level along the way towards comprehensive reform. And there has been input from all of those advocacy organizations. There has been input from members of the legislature to the Judiciary Committee chairman. I didn't just pick Representative Horan and Senator Wiggins to bring in over the last couple of months to try to get this nailed down. They are the competent chairman of jurisdiction in the Mississippi legislature as chosen by the two leaders, the Speaker and the House, to deal with these issues. And so I will tell you, we've been having conversations around
Why?
these reforms for at least 4 years, and probably much longer than that. And I think that's very, very important. Yes, sir.
Governor, what were you and your team hearing during the regular session as to why lawmakers couldn't reach an agreement on the bill that was proposed then? And also, if you could, how does the state Supreme Court order that expires on the 24th impact this?
Well, I'm going to answer your second question first, and I'll come back. I'll just answer the first one. What happened in the regular session is irrelevant at this point. There was an agreement between the conference committee of the House and the Senate. And as I recall, there was actually debate had begun on the bill in the Mississippi Senate. And at that time, there was an adjournment that occurred that maybe there was a misunderstanding. I don't know really what happened then, and it doesn't really matter. But because that particular bill did not get across the finish line, it included statutes within the bill that needed to be extended for certain items, specifically the exceptions to the statute relating to confidentiality. Because that particular bill did not pass during the regular session, is really what has led to today's announcement. Obviously, I've been trying to get some reforms at the legislature for the last 3 or 4 years. A lot of individual members have been trying to get reforms. But had that not occurred, or at least when that occurred back in April, that led to multiple different types of litigation. I said earlier this morning, I am a named party in litigation in the lower courts, in the Mississippi Supreme Court, in Judge Wingate's federal court on this very issue. Judge Wingate initially ruled that he was going to delay the implementation of this until July the 15th. That happens to be today. That is significant. The Mississippi Supreme Court decided that they would change their rule until and extend basically the status quo on how these cases are handled until July 24th. That's obviously a week from Friday. That date is significant. I think that everyone involved is very cognizant and aware that while these judicial interactions, whether right or wrong, legal or not, allowable under the current statute or not, the place that these things need to be fixed is in the Mississippi legislature. This is a legislative issue, and to their credit, and I want to be clear about this, to their credit, Lieutenant Governor Hoseman, Speaker White, the leadership teams that they have been interacting with recognize that, they agree with that, and I will tell you that is what has led to the proposal that is going to be presented to the House and the Senate later today. I want to be clear about something on this legislation. This legislation is not what I proposed in the executive budget recommendation. It goes along with a lot of the funding that I proposed.
My boy said immaterial. Damn.
But I would have.
Why y'all trolling so bad? Y'all trolling.
Than this particular
they trolling too hard, bro. Stop all the trolling. It's okay, bro. I feel your pain.
Compromises. And
I feel it. I
don't always do this, but I give full credit to the members of the legislature that have been working on this.
The comments is crazy.
Since the bill died at the end of the session. So there's been a lot of work on it. Ross?
You say you're hoping that members of both parties will quickly pass this legislation, but you may not be surprised that Democrats are saying you're calling this special session at the last minute. They haven't had a chance to have negotiations or even look at the legislation. And in addition to those questions, how long do you expect the session to last? Do you think it'd be a couple of hours, or will it take a couple of days to get this done? And is it possible? I'm asking too many questions here. Is it possible that you could expand the call?
Yeah,
redistricting.
I have limited
these comments is crazy.
So it's hard for me to remember question number 4 and question number 1. So if I miss something, we'll go back to it. What I would say is just as a reminder to everyone, and this is important, in one of the pieces of litigation, the one that was filed in federal court, the state public defender's office was one of the plaintiffs. The state public defender's office is obviously funded by the legislature. The person who runs that operation, I actually appointed to that position, but we don't always agree on political stuff, and that's okay, right? Happens to be in the room. That's okay. But I will tell you that
he pulled that out of Donald Trump
the
book.
legislation,
He pulled it out of Donald
the
Trump
agreed
book.
upon
The pastor side
conference report, and this builds off of that. There was a lot of support for a lot of the provisions, because the issues that we're dealing with here really should not be political. And I hope, and I understand that Democrats in the legislature may not like the fact that I called the special session yesterday for today. I understand that. I don't really like the fact, as an example, that the Democrat district attorney in Hinds County resigned and gave me no prior notice. But that didn't mean that I didn't have to do my constitutional responsibility in Hinds County. I didn't really like the fact that I got sued at the very last minute before June 30th and before these things went in. That's just the nature of where we find ourselves. The timing of today is driven a lot less by what the governor wants and a lot more about what the judges in this litigation is saying. I think we would have gotten a resolution of this issue sometime long before the special session, but the timing really has nothing to do with what's good for Tate or what Tate wants. What the timing of this is really driven by the sensitivity of trying to get the most immediate needs fixed and get the process fixed going forward. I do just want to point out, and I want to say this because I think it's important. If you saw the call for the special session, there's what's called a short title. I think the short title on this bill is about 5 or 6 pages long, so it's hard for me to. There's a lot of things happening in it. This is a complicated issue and it's a complex issue. But what I want you to know is there's also 3 appropriation bills.
crazy, bro.
Appropriation bills. So there's actually 4
I'm telling you,
here.
bro. I'm
3
telling you, like,
appropriation bills.
if you ain't on this type of shit, you ain't doing shit. You ain't gangster. You ain't none of that. If you ain't on this, you ain't gangster. You ain't real.
From the Mississippi
You
legislature.
don't care about nobody but
spent
yourself. If you ain't on this
in
type of stuff,
the
you
following
ain't gangster. You ain't real. You ain't solid. You ain't cool.
Number one,
You ain't nothing to me.
there's significant resources to be spent.
This how you take care of your family, man. This how you take care of your kids and shit, man. Sitting around politicking about what somebody else got going on, that ain't got shit going on, that ain't doing shit, and you ain't even making no money. You ain't even got your hands on no money. You ain't even doing what delegating like you supposed to be delegating so the money can come your way. I think he finna talk for an hour, but he been talking for a while before I came in the picture. But I already follow Tate Reed, so it's like, who you not gonna, you grown as hell, you know what everything coming from, and you not gonna follow the governor. You not gonna follow the head of state. Come on, man. You crazy. If you grown as hell, if you 18 and you 21 and you grown as hell, and you ain't got your L's or something like that, and you ain't locked in with the governor, the secretary, the district managers, all them type behind the county, whatever county you in, then you ain't focused. You ain't focused. You don't got your mind in the right place. You feel me? I'm trying to show y'all who to go check out, man. Go look at my boy Tate Reed, bro. Go check him out, bro. He's speaking with how he feel, but he giving a decent perspective where it ain't really like, you feel me? He giving a decent perspective where it ain't like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't one sided, but he still got to remember how he was raised. So that's what he on. That's what he on. He on really how he was raised and shit like that. So
some cases, there are violent crimes committed, and we need to deal with those crimes in a certain way. They all deserve due process. They all deserve their day. We got to deal with those who take some pity together. In my opinion, because those who've been violent crimes and we got to deal with those that have that committed other crimes that maybe are headed in the wrong direction another way. We kind of separate those two kids from my perspective. Not being a lawyer, I'm kind of at a disadvantage in some of these terminology, etc. But we got to determine we got to separate the kids that we're mad at versus the kids that we're scared of because of the types of crimes they've committed, and what this process setting up will allow us to.
First of all, you shouldn't be scared of nobody.
Because we have an evidence.
First of all, you should never be. See now, if you scared to kill somebody, then you gonna be scared.
Right now.
But if you ain't scared to kill a killer, then you should never be scared of nobody. I ain't scared of no kids. I don't give a fuck what you talking about.
Many members of the legislature think it works, and so to expand that is going to allow us to take kids that maybe have made a mistake, not a violent crime, but have made a mistake, and that they have the ability to get rehabilitation, and that has the opportunity to change a child's life. And I'm hopeful that regardless of what political party you're in, regardless if you're mad at me for calling the session today or tomorrow or whenever, I get that. That's part of it. I'm hopeful that
you see what I told his ass, BTA. I ain't never scared of no kids. Belt to ass.
Legislation in totality.
Belt to ass. We ain't scared of no kids around here. You crazy.
But if they will recognize
most of these old ass niggas some kids. So what make you think I'm gonna be scared of these little ass niggas? Most of these grown ass niggas some kids. Crazy.
I'm absolutely convinced of it. I believe this needs to happen. I believe this is the best thing for the state of Mississippi. I believe it's the best thing for kids. And look, I'm willing to do something that I don't do very often, which is call a special session in the middle of summer. And look, I promise you, I got other things I could be working on, but this is important, and we're at that point because of the litigation that's out there.
Built to ass. Fuck is you talking about? Man, this man crazy. The ones we were scared of and the ones we're mad at. Fuck that shit. I'm mad at them dumb ass decisions you making for sure. But I'll never be scared of your ass. I'll flush your ass. Put your ass back down that motherfucking condom that you should have been in and flush your ass. Put you in a plastic bag. I'm not playing with nobody.
Just finally say, I'm not. If any legislature,
hold on, pause. If I see any kids talking to grown folk like they grown and they sharing a conversation like it's cool, oh yeah, you built the ass. You built the ass. I'll spank this shit out you. Put that motherfucker all in your face. That's why I don't play with folks. And folks know not to play with me. That's why they scared. That's why can't nobody function with me, because they be too scared. You gotta stop being so scared your whole life. If you thinking the right thoughts, the shit'll go right. But if you thinking negative shit in your mind and you see I'm zero tolerance, you just, you know what I'm saying? And you can't help yourself. Like you got bad habits. Like you got bad motherfucking habits to do dumb shit.
I think that I'm hopeful that they will be ready to do so, and I hope that
most motherfuckers got bad habits of doing dumb shit every day. Like you made the mistake yesterday, then you gonna make the same mistake again today. Tomorrow you gonna make the same mistake again, ain't you? Why you don't understand that you making a mistake? You need to let that be known that I'm making this big mistake, so you can look in the mirror and attest to that mistake you keep making.
Defender's office and lots of activists.
Why I gotta keep you can't teach a motherfucker how to be real. You can't teach them. You can't teach a motherfucker how to be smart. They gotta want it for themselves. They gotta want to know and want to do right, and stop letting their ego get in the motherfucking way. If a motherfucker ain't saying nothing to you all the time, and the moment they say something to you, you need to check yourself. Check yourself. A motherfucker ain't bothering you, but if the moment a motherfucker say something to you, check yourself. Get out your funk ass feelings and check yourself. I'm doing something wrong here. Usually a motherfucker don't say nothing to me. I'm doing something wrong here.
Because again, there's been
you feel me?
Serious cooperation between the leadership of both the houses.
I don't know why I gotta tell people every day, all day, every day, the same shit. Like I don't go around making the same mistakes. I know my rights. I know my business. And I keep my business. Don't bleed your business over into my business. I'm good.
So what the words on the business, it's easy to get.
That's why they make membranes. You feel what I'm saying? That's why we got two different bodies and we can't blend into each other's body. It's not possible.
Piece of legislation. If everyone will focus on,
and if we do try to make it possible, that is highly unacceptable. Highly unacceptable.
That's not the case. And at this time, there are there are 4 bills on the
Go
call for the
for
special
shit.
session. That's the general bill and the 3 appropriation bills. And we'll see what happens over the next day or so as to if anything is added. There's no definitive plan to add anything at this time. Yes.
Governor, about the appropriations for youth court judges, what's the funding mechanism going to be for those? Is that going to be on the state or is that on the counties?
It's on the state. So this is a commitment by the state. The funding source, and these are decisions that were made with the appropriations members in the legislative budget office. There will be some recurring general funds involved because, for instance, if you're going to expand the number of individuals at Oakley, we're going to which Bob runs, as you know, at Human Services, and we're going to increase the number of employees there. That's going to be a recurring expense. And so there's going to be some state general fund dollars included. But if you're going to improve the exterior of a building or fix the roof so that you can put more individuals there, then some of that's going to come probably from the capital expense fund. Those are specific decisions that the legislature will make. But I'm comfortable that they'll make the right decision. But again, this gives counties, for the first time ever, some state reimbursement for their kids to go to a state facility. That's because we want to incentivize the counties to do that, because we do think that the evidence-based programs that we run at the state, while right now only dealing with usually between 35 to 40 kids at any one time, can make a huge difference for those kids. And so we want to expand that capacity. We also want to recognize, and this is important, because the $10 million for the Department of Public Safety is really, and I don't expect that $10 million to be at zero, by the way, when the legislature comes.
You're wearing the same thing.
But that $10 million is really to show that the state is committed to having a detention facility similar to Oakley that is state run and state funded in both the north and the south. And I want to just perhaps correct one thing when I say that
my computer's faster, but I can see it and hear it better right now. I see it and hear it better on his page. Like he made sure he got the best view.
The counties up to $100.
Hey, Channel 3, you need to zoom out a little bit. Channel 3, zoom out. Zoom out a little bit. This is a better view.
If they're held in county facilities,
this is a better perspective.
It's costing a lot more than that. It may be $200 or $250 or $300 or $350 a day. So we're able to put a cap on what it's going to cost the counties. We think that's going to help encourage and incentivize the kids that need help to actually get the help. Again,
I be trying to help. I'm just here to help. I'm just doing my job. I'm here to help. I'm just here to help.
That folks will agree with that. But we are capping what it could potentially cost.
Well, that light illuminate off them lips, don't it, boy?
Individual that comes from any specific county. Yes, sir.
Governor, could you speak on the fact exactly what trade on the data centers?
Yeah, let me finish questions on this topic and then I'll come back to that.
A couple times reforms for this legislation or what legislation. What further reforms would you like to see in the reform system in the future, and what's the time?
Yeah, so what I propose is a uniform statewide.
Good job. Hey, Cole.
Chancellor judges statewide. Right now, we have 20 counties that have youth court systems, and this particular bill leaves those 20 individual county court systems in place.
Right.
It creates a pathway where if those individuals wanted to, if those counties wanted to make the decision, then they have a time frame in which they can do that. So again, what I would say is, if it were up to me, we'd make those changes immediately and we'd roll with it. But the reality is we're not gonna. It's gonna take several years for us to roll into that. The good news is, I think the most important piece is that there's a full-time judge in place. Because just let me give you an example, and Andrea and Bob and Andre and others can give you better examples than me. But again, in my layman's brain, if something bad happens to a kid, and there needs to be a judge to hear an argument regarding that, and that something bad happens at midnight on Friday night, the state doesn't get the option of, hey, we'll deal with that when the part-time judge is in the courtroom 13 days from now. We don't get that option. And so I think that having the potential for full-time focused judges on this issue is going to get us a long way there. Again, it's not exactly what it is. I think it's a very good compromise and a good solution, which gets us a long way down the road over the next 3 to 5 years to a more uniform system, which solves a lot of the challenges that I mentioned. Yes, ma'am.
Could you speak to how this special session specifically is being funded as compared to the
My hand's cold. I keep quadruple tapping.
Yeah, so this special session will be funded the same way that every special session is funded, which is state general dollars will pay for it. Yes, sir.
Last fall, I saw some kids involved in some shootings at football games. I'm curious how much this can fast track this fund expansion to Oakley and all these detention centers. And then, second question is, we've heard about the state paying for hotel rooms for kids. How does this help address that issue as well? If you really kind of explain what this all means.
Yeah, so I will tell you that we have, in terms of kids being in hotel rooms, that's a really kind of a separate issue, but it's an equally important issue. But it is something that the legislature acknowledged and recognized during the regular session that Child Protection Services needs.
That's supposed to be stupid loud right now. Like, it's stupid low though. Stupid low, supposed to be stupid loud. Like,
in a much better, more safe environment, but also in an environment that that can be much cheaper as well. And so they actually allocated some resources. The legislature did in the regular session to that end, a particular facility that we're in conversations/negotiations with another state agency that has a facility in the south part of the state. And so all of this goes hand in hand. We've got to, again, as sort of that two. I want to make sure that we separate these two. That these are kids. That some of these kids are abused and neglected. Some of these kids are out shooting up high school football games. These are different kids, and ultimately going to be different facilities because they need to be and they have to be. With respect to your question about kids that are shooting at,
he's failing now. They need to be and they have to be. Some people don't have the intellect to separate. Some people just stuck like that.
They shouldn't be in place like Oakley. They ought to be in jail. But that's a different conversation for a different day. The kids that are doing nonviolent activities that maybe violate the law, those are the kind of kids that we are talking about being rehabilitated. And in terms of timing, I think everybody in the state has recognized an uptick in crimes being committed by kids that are under the age of 18.
Right.
We've seen that in our state. It's not unique to Mississippi, by the way. Let's just be fair. This is happening across the country. There are a lot of different reasons for that. No reason to get into it, but there's a lot of that. But the specific timing of why we're having a special session on Wednesday, July 15th, is the June 30 deadline. Exacerbated the challenge that was before us. The order as signed by Judge Wingate, which was till July 15th, initially, the order signed by the Mississippi Supreme Court, all 7 current judges on the court, was something that also we have a July 24th deadline with respect to that. So really it just none of those things individually necessarily say that you have to do it today, but when you have a lot of conversation, a lot of negotiations going on, the best time to do a piece of legislation is when there's agreement, and there is general agreement now between the leadership in the House and the Senate, and I hope that leads to a positive outcome. I can't guarantee it. There are going to be those that are opposed to this for one reason or another. I don't think that the individual words on the page are going to be a valid reason to be against this bill. I think most everyone will look at this and say this is a major step forward for
The
our
fuck is you looking
system,
at?
for kids, both those that are abused.
The fuck is you looking out of my window for?
In juvenile
Y'all be
delinquency.
wanting somebody to do something to y'all, man.
That everyone will agree with that. Yes, sir.
Governor, you referenced an uptick in youth crime being committed in Mississippi across the state. What have your conversations been with law enforcement?
You should be staring over here in my window.
What have those been like as it relates to
so
today's
weird.
proposal?
They want somebody to do something to them.
Yeah, like I said, I mentioned earlier, the very first conversation I had around this issue included Commissioner Tyndall of the Department of Public Safety, and Commissioner Tyndall every year, certainly the last couple of years, has tried to meet with all 82 sheriffs all across the state, and I will tell you, he believes. I actually spoke with him late last night. He believes that these reforms go a long way towards dealing with one of the most difficult challenges that we have in the criminal justice system, and that is as younger and younger individuals are committing particularly violent crimes, but not just violent crimes. There's really, for judges that want to do right, they don't have a lot of options as to where and so a lot of times on the slightly less violent side of things, and that can be defined however you want to define it, those kids end up going back home fairly quickly, and that's not a particularly good solution. But one of the reasons they go back home is because facility that makes sense for those kids to go in, and so we think this is going to help tremendously with respect to that. It's going to take time. It's not, if this bill passes and I sign it today, this issue is not going to be resolved tomorrow. It's also not going to be resolved next month or maybe even next year. But it puts us on a path to get it done. And I use this as an example a lot. I think we're making progress in our public health scores as well. For 50 years in public health, we were ranked 50th. Last year we ranked 48th. We haven't made enough progress, but we're making progress. When we passed the education reforms that led to the Mississippi Miracle, we passed those in 2012 and 2013. In 2014, our results were not significantly better. It takes time. But doing nothing on this particular issue is just like had we done nothing in public education.
It's just going to get worse.
Back in 2012 and 2013.
It's just going to get worse.
Had we done nothing in 2012 and 2013, we wouldn't be the 16th best education system in America as ranked by kids counts. We'd be a lot closer to 50. You got to start somewhere. Right. Today is where you start, in my opinion. Yes.
With violent crimes, I know earlier this year you signed a bill that says that if children are involved in a crime that involves a weapon and they're, I believe it's over the age of 13 or 15, they are automatically tried as an adult. How do you think that plays into this as to helping clear the path in the youth court systems?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think obviously I signed that piece of legislation. I think it was the right policy to enact. But I think also that the major step forward here, in my mind, is for those kids that maybe are in the juvenile justice system, that they've committed an act that is, whether it's a misdemeanor or a felony. If it were non-violent, there is a path here finally for that kid to be in a facility like Oakley where they can get their life put back together. And right now, the capacity at Oakley is very limited. Again, I think that they do a really good job. My team has been out there. A lot of individual legislators have been out there. They have. I think they do a good job. They use evidence-based rehabilitation techniques, but the capacity is very limited. And please understand that capacity is limited for a lot of reasons, one of which it costs a lot of money to do this. And so not only will these reforms not solve everything overnight, they're not free and they're not cheap. and that's just the reality. I have made the determination, and people across Mississippi that are watching this know that I ran for office 23 years ago, or really 22 years ago, 6 months and 15 days. Not that I'm keeping count, but I ran for office 23 years ago because Mississippi had a financial problem. And I felt like we needed someone in government that understood economics and finance. We have largely fixed our fiscal problem in Mississippi. We're in the best financial shape we've ever been in. We're in the best fiscal shape we've ever been in. And I'm proud of that. I'm really proud of it. But I have determined that the cost associated with making these fixes is not only worth it, it is far less than the cost to society if we don't do it. And that's the bottom line as to where I am. Yes.
In your 2027 budget proposal, you proposed 12.7 million for 25 full-time chancellors and staff. Is that in this funding bills? I didn't hear that earlier.
And so I believe, and will correct me after this if I am not correct, the final piece of this through the negotiations creates 10.
All right, bro, look, check this out.
It creates 10, and
The fuck? I hate a fruit fly. I hate a goddamn fruit fly. I threw away all the fruit in the garbage. I got all the vegetables on the counter right now that need to be cooked. I'm finna get ready to go in there and cook. I'm finna go cook, y'all. I gotta at least give an hour a day, at least an hour. If I don't do nothing, I got other stuff I need to be doing. I gotta be up on my feet. I don't have time to stick around and plop. I got other shit. I try to at least do an hour a day, and I make it meaningful. I don't just get on here and just rant all day. Like, you feel me? So, and I'm in real life, so I'm really doing me. I'm not putting no mask on like everybody. A lot of people be trying to put a mask on every time they get in front. Hello, good morning. That smack. Yo, shut your ass up. All that made up ass shit. Good morning. This is channel 3. Go to sleep. When you go home and you go to sleep, do you go to sleep like that? Yeah, I am going to sleep. Your ass ain't doing that shit. Relax. Nigga. Y'all don't know how to relax for real. I be too lax for y'all like this. I be so relaxed. It look like I'm unbothered. Like that shit don't make I be so relaxed on myself. I'm relaxed now. Like when I go outside, I still be looking relaxed. They be like, this man, he look at ease and be limping my ass off. But I watched that hair yesterday that hair looking like boom, bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. I didn't get a chance to put no conditioner in it though. I ain't conditioned it. I had got tired, boy. I had went to sleep. Had a full day of work. Matter of fact, I need to call and see if CVS open now. I wonder if this truck gonna start or if it's gonna still have the same problem. Alright, Tay Reeves, I gave you enough time, brother. I ain't gonna hold you. I gave you enough time, brother. It's a lot of hate going on. I see a lot of people hate. A lot of people hate. When I say a lot of people hating, a lot of people hate like they do not like you, Tay Reeves. Why I took my hoodie off, gave these motherfuckers an opportunity to come play in my head, knowing I don't like bugs, because that's the first thing they do, run straight to your scalp and play in your goddamn head. Why these 2 spots in my head keep on dandering up like that, like I'm bleeding at the side of my scalp or something? And motherfucker stuck me in my scalp, and I was asleep or something. Motherfucker said, nigga. That shit still ain't healed up yet. I gotta wash my hair again. I just washed it last night. I gotta wash it again. I'm gonna moisturize and I'm gonna wash it again. Yeah. Hold up, before we go out, I gotta get my little 2 minutes of this in. Hold up. Hey, that was dope. Funny. That shit was funny, folks. That shit was funny as hell. Hold up, folks. Them little ass they be pissing me off. Funny. Nah, it's like, bro. Like, that's something that was a real health condition. Oh. Oh, that's a health condition. Damn, DDG. I thought it was just a joke, bro. You took that shit to heart. I get locked up, I'll call you. I got you. Call me. I'll call you. It's a bill like $1 million. I got you. If you're in jail, I got you. Real shit. I promise you, got my word on it. Pray for me. Y'all got 30s? Y'all got 30s? Y'all got 30s? Stupid ass. Oh, yeah, y'all do. Yeah, I got some. What the fuck? Is that Batman? What's that? I'm Batman. You gotta. I wouldn't think that jump. That jump was too high. Yeah, the jump was too high. The jump was way too high. Came to your rescue. Put the mask back on. It's nice to see you. Let's go. Let's go. Sorry, Batman. Batman, take Uber here. Take Uber. Right there. Batman like black him out? Batman smoke. Batman likes. This nigga got wood tip. I'm shocked. I'm shocked to see this nigga with a wood tip. This nigga crazy. Let me get pop his shirt real quick. Kill himself trying to smoke that motherfucker. Why you saying my name? They got us. Why the fuck are you saying my name? Get off me. Batman tighten up. Oh, you guys want to shoot you some? Oh! Oh! Don't go, Batman! Don't get it! No! Batman, sorry! I'm sorry! It's DDG! This is down, Batman! I promise! This is down,
No.
Take a mask off.
Get
Take a mask off, man.
I'm nobody.
Take a mask off, man.
Get the fuck off me. No, I don't want to tell. Get the fuck off of me. Bitch, I'm fat man. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Hey, I don't wrestle. I shoot. They got us. They got us. Why the fuck are you saying my name? They got us. They got us. They got us. It's rolling up in your car. Take the fuck out. They got it, bro. No. No. They got it. Come on. Get him over here. What the? Hold on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Confronting, more like got your ass kidnapped. Why all the boxers like kidnapping people? All the boxers, they want to kidnap your ass and beat your ass up and get your ass in 1-2s and the 3-4s and 6-7s, goddamn. Look at that, what I was saying. All the boxers be wanting to kidnap a nigga.
That's the best thing y'all thought about.
You ain't doing it right. Give it to me. Hey, he need his mask. There we go. There we go. Got it. Be good.